This practice is led by Maïte.
I'm Maïte, and this is a mindfulness movement session, the meditation. So for today, a couple of instructions. Just come as you are. If you have a looser clothes, it's nicer to move in, of course, than like tight jeans, but no requirement. If you have a yoga mat or a towel, that's wonderful. And then you may want to use this, but really it's optional. If you have a yoga block or two handy, if you don't have those, you can use a big book or maybe some cans of food, not to eat, just for support. And if you have maybe a pillow, you may find that comforting or supporting for you. But again, all of those are optional. And also, if your knees are not wonderful, you may want to, if you have an extra mat or just your mat, you can roll as such and then pad your knees as needed or use a towel. Okay. And then it does not matter if you have any experience with this type of mindfulness and movement, because the invitation, the intention is really to come home into our body and to tune into the sensation that are arising in the present moment, as well as the experience that we may have through our thoughts, through our emotions, and just including whatever is arising moment by moment with a sense of interest, of curiosity, of openness, of kindness and care. I am aware that maybe some of you right now are dealing with some injuries or ailments or maybe some restrictions in your body. So this is fine. Also, you are invited, if it's hard for you to move in this moment, to maybe do some movement partially on a chair or even lying down. Also, just imagining the movement will recruit a lot of the same neural pathway as doing the movement. So you're welcome to do that. And you also know your body way more than I do. So I invite you to really tune in with yourself and listen to the wisdom of your own body, to respect your own limits and not push beyond any edge. And also, you're welcome to find a pace that is faster or slower than me and really support yourself. So, yeah, I think those are the instructions. So, welcome. We are going to start in a seated position. So, you're welcome to sit on a chair. If you sit on a chair, I invite you to sit toward the edge of the chair so your feet can rest on the floor. If you are shorter like me, you may want to raise your feet with a pillow underneath. That may be more supported. You may like to sit like me on your knees. You may feel really uncomfortable right now, so feel free to sit maybe cross-legged. Sometimes it's not very supportive for the pelvis, so if you need to prep your pelvis area with a little bit of a pillow or a yoga block like that, that's fine. All right, so I invite you to settle in a comfortable position and not too upright, not too rigid. And then just feeling the body, finding some settling, maybe feeling the anchorage of your sitting bone, your pelvis on the floor, on the cushion, or the chair. And then your hands can rest wherever comfortable, and we can have our eyes lowered or closed for a few moments. And then just start by one of the first principles of life, just breathing. So inviting a deep breath in through your nose and a breath out. Maybe a couple more, breathing in and out. Feeling the inflow nourishing the body. And the outflow letting go. And then we can turn the attention a little bit closer towards the body. Maybe sensing how we are waking up to this moment. maybe early in the morning where you are, or maybe midday. And there is always a moment, an opportunity to wake up to what's here. So what am I feeling right here, right now? Am I sensing the floor underneath me? Maybe I'm noticing the sensation of my feet resting on the ground, sensing some solidity, some stability that Mother Earth is providing right now. I may be noticing the shape of my legs and how my seat is meeting the support on which I'm on. Maybe a sense of weight, of pressure. Maybe there is softness or hardness. Just receiving the feedback of that support. And expanding the awareness to just sensing the body being here, whole, complete. Feeling the front of the body, back. Be noticing some elongation in the spine. The routineness that we're getting from the floor, and yet the elongation of the spine, erecting toward the sky. And we may be sensing a sense of width across the body, right? To left shoulders, left to right hip. A sense of depth. From the front, the abdomen to the back. Just feeling a sense of shape, of weight, maybe of gravity over the body. And then maybe on a scale from 0 to 10, assessing the energy level in which we're arriving to this moment. You may say, oh yeah, I feel pretty rested right now. Maybe I'm on an 8 out of 10, or on the contrary, I feel a little tired. So maybe I'm more like at 4, 5. And just using that as an indication not to judge ourselves or wish that things were different or to rejoice, but more so to welcome how we can support ourselves through this practice, through this day. If we know we are full of energy or not so much, using that to help us respond to each moment with care, with kindness. So gently we can, if our eyes were closed, we open them and then start with a little bit of movement through the head and neck. So gently bowing, bringing the chin toward the chest. Feeling maybe some elongation here through the back of the head, the neck, the shoulder. Breathing in and breathing out, gently bringing the head back to center, and then maybe tilted the head back. If needed, maybe supporting the head here in the hands. Then feeling more of an opening through the face, the shoulder, the chest. And doing that a few times, breathing in down. And breathing out up. Maybe relaxing any tension we may be holding in our jaw, in our face, if needed. And then gently returning the head to center, and then starting to travel the head left and right, so we can let the eyes guide the movement, and taking into sight all the shape, the shadow, the texture, the lights, the object that are around us. And it's possible that as the head is turning, we're noticing, oh yeah, one side is a little tighter. So being mindfully of the pace, moving the neck. You may have been still for many hours while you were asleep. Letting the breath move with your neck. And gently coming back to the center, and maybe trying to tilt the head so the ear comes high to one shoulder. Feeling a nice little stretch here. Perhaps taking a hand around our ear and our shoulder to cup them, to stretch a little more. And softening this area from the ear to the shoulder. Finding some space, noticing how much we pull and being careful here of finding the right amount of pressure. And gently returning back to center. Taking a moment to notice the difference, maybe the right and the left side of the body. Noticing the breath. And gently tuning into the other side. Perhaps bringing one ear to one shoulder. And if you feel like this feels right for you and it's quite comfortable and helps stretch more, feel free to let the weight of your arm pull a little bit more. Stretch here across that side of the neck. Relaxing the jaw. And gently coming back to the center. We'll continue with a few neck holds, so gently bringing the chin to the chest. And perhaps playing with just a quarter of a neck hold or a full neck hold, finding a pace that feels right. Maybe letting the eyes move around with you. Seeing each muscles doing some work here, maybe feeling the vertebrae of the neck supporting that movement, while the rest of the body feels still. And we can go back and forth the other direction, breathing in one side, breathing out. So you may find my pace really wonderful and really enjoy that, or on the contrary, maybe noticing, oh, I wish we were moving faster. So there is no right or wrong, just noticing our tendencies is also part of that experience, and maybe adjusting the pace that is better for you. Also playing with, oh yeah, how is it like if I go slower or a little faster? And we come back to the center, finding the head, balancing it on the neck. And I will invite you to bring one hand on your side. Take an inhale, sweep your arm up. And on your exhale, gently side bending, stretching the side of the torso. And then here, seeing if the breath can find some room here to open the rib cage, to open the space in between the ribs. So those are the intercostal muscles. And gently coming back and repeating that again. Pressing in, sweeping the arm. Pressing out, side bending. Maybe staying here a little longer or moving with a little bit more organic pace. Inhaling, arm to the sky, and exhaling, side bending. Maybe staying here a little longer, maybe sweeping our arms sideways. And stretching. And maybe gently starting to tilt the torso down toward the earth and walking our hands forward before us. We pause right here at the center with your hands on the floor, and then gently rounding your spine, hollowing the abs, pulling the shoulder. And inhaling, arching the back and opening the chest. And gently exhaling, rounding. Relaxing the shoulder if they're hiking up, noticing any unnecessary tension we may be creating and we could let go of. And then one more, exhaling, gently rounding, hollowing the abs. And inhaling, arching, pressing the chest forward, dropping the shoulder, opening the chest, smiling with the collarbones. And then coming back to center and neutral. Let's take a breath in, sweeping our other arm. And then inhale, exhale, going to the side. Again, focusing on keeping that opposite here, sitting bone grounded here, so we can get more of that length all the way from the hip to the waistline, to the rib, to the underarms. And then inhaling, and then a few more times. Exhaling, side bending. Noticing how maybe one side has a little more flexibility or less, and not judging, but just noticing, oh yeah, this one, I can go a little more, or no, and I should take care of myself. And then back to the center, coming back. Beautiful. We'll do a little bit of a rotation now. So taking a breath, sweeping your arm nice and long. And take an inhale, let the head and the chest like lead the movement with your eyes. And then slow, when you can no longer turn your head and neck, let your shoulder, your ribs, your torso move with you. And then you can place one hand on your side, push a little bit into that hand. And then look back to wherever you can. And 2 or 3 breaths here. Noticing the groundedness that we're getting from the sitting bone and how we can draw energy from the sitting bone up toward the mid waist, up toward the chest, up toward the head, the neck. And then inhaling, exhaling, coming back to center. We can stretch those arms out, deep breath. And exhale slowly, bringing the head, the neck, the rest of the torso. And that energy of the spine, the vertebrae spiraling up and up and up toward the sky. We can breathe in to get a little more length. And then breathe out to maybe try a little more twisting if it's all right. A few more. And then gently coming back to the center. So if you were sitting on your knees like me or differently, you can take the block out of your way. And then I invite you to sit cross-legged if that's possible. If you are sitting on a chair, you can just do it one leg at a time, and then this leg will be folding over the chair. So we're going to lengthen one of the legs. My leg will go sideways so you can see better. And the foot can be folded here. If you need to have both legs long outstretched, that's also an option. You can bend your leg if you feel like you're slouching back, so you can sit a little more supportive on your spine. And then inhaling, reaching the arm toward the sky. And as we exhale, gently folding from the waistline, so we're waterfalling the torso forward. And just letting the hands melt on the floor and taking a few moments here to stretch the back of the leg, the thighs. And perhaps allowing that leg to rotate a little bit in the hip socket. So little windshield wiper, having the toes looking in. And then out. And being curious here of how the leg wraps up from the side to the knee to the shin bone. Letting the breath be. And perhaps going a little bit further, a little bit deeper. You may want to have your hand on your thigh, on your shin, your hands, or toward your toes. Just taking a moment here to notice which part of the body is getting some lengthening. It's very possible that you're noticing the mind commenting on, oh, my body is so tight. And sure, this happens, but instead, knowing that your body is really doing its best right now. So how can I bring some heartedness toward this moment so I can help my body actually go toward a little bit more flexibility? Maybe finding a deeper breath. Maybe not pushing so hard, maybe going back and forth a little bit. And gently inhaling, exhaling, coming back to the center. I'm going to switch legs, so let's do the other way around. And then inhaling, sweeping the arm up, feeling some length here to the side of the torso. And then exhaling, waterfalling the torso forward over the thigh, letting the hands melt. And maybe here we're noticing that it's a little different. Perhaps we're hiking the shoulder or we're gripping tight. So is there an area of the body that might be eased off into the mirror? Maybe that means bending the leg, maybe helping rotate the leg. Maybe going a little deeper, finding the toes. A few breaths here. Just in the back of the thighs, the calf, getting more length. Maybe feeling the breath here happening across the torso. And gently feeling the sitting bone anchoring, and on the exhale, slow restacking the lower spine, the middle spine, the upper spine, and the back. All right, so gently we're going to bring our legs behind us. So we come into an all-fours position. So hands will be underneath our shoulders and knees underneath our hips. So I invite you to open your hands very wide like starfish. So it's nice and protective for your shoulders. If your knees are not so great, please do pad your knees. And then let's go into a few cat and cow stretches. So as you exhale, gently around your spine, relax your hand on the shoulder, pull your navel in. And as you inhale, start lifting your tailbone, dropping your tummy, opening your chest. And then looking forward. And we'll do that a few more times, 3 or 5 times. just at a pace that is working for you. So gently matching the movement with the breath, exhaling for the rounding spine. And inhaling for the arching of the low back, middle back, upper back, gliding the shoulder away from the ears. A few more times, exhaling, rounding. Feeling the hollowing of the ab, the pulling of the tummy in. Inhaling, arching, maybe feeling the tailbone lifting up a little more, the ribcage dropping down, the chest opening, the eyes looking forward. And releasing in. And then out. Gently coming back to a table back. So we have a long line here, shoulder, hip. And going a little bit sideways into tail wag. So bringing the hip toward the left side and then looking up and over the right side. Maybe looking even at our right foot. Maybe taking your hip a little bit out of alignment or just staying hip over the knees. Just playing a little bit with that tail wag. So inhaling to the center. And exhaling to the side. And here noticing which part of the body are maybe benefiting from that move. Where does it feel good for me right now? Maybe staying a little longer if I feel I'm in need of that, or just continuing the back and forth swaying. Maybe I'm discovering something new here in my body today. Maybe I'm noticing, oh yeah, my hip is able to do something new that I wasn't aware of, or maybe feeling the contact of your hands really strong and connected to the floor. And then gently coming back to the center and doing a little bit of rotation. So we can keep the right hand on the right shoulder or make a fist if that's getting too risky. That's always an option. Or you may want to come to forearms. And then with that opposing hand, let's do a little outside rotation. We're going to inhale, twist open here, bring your awareness to hugging the space between the shoulder blades. And on the exhale, gently shredding under to about halfway and then feeling more space between the blades here. So inhaling, gently opening, feeling the hugging here. And as we exhale, shred under and dive. We feel a little more room in between the shoulder. I can breathe into them. Couple more breathing and out. Last one in. And maybe on our next one, staying into that nice little rotation here. Letting the head rest, no pressure on the neck. Perhaps sweeping the arm up and overhead. If this is too much, maybe coming back to more a table pose or child pose. If we want a little bit more challenge, we feel, oh yeah, this is quite fun right now. Maybe I can do a little more. Perhaps lengthening your right leg. So if you're twisting and trying a little bit of a stretch here. And this may feel really wobbly and a lot balancing. So remembering that through mindfulness, we can also bring playfulness, right? Oh, yeah, this is all wobbly. I need to use a little more my core maybe, or am I breathing? And then gently coming back, bringing the knee back, sweeping your hands, and then returning back to center. Okay, let's try the other side. And inhaling, opening, and exhaling, shredding under, widening the shoulders. Inhaling, stretching the chest wide. Maybe letting the eyes look at the hands and follow the movement of the hands. Couple more. And out. Just seeing how the body is able to really move from the waist up while the bottom of the body is really fairly stable, really. And then maybe resting the head here for a few moments. Taking a few breaths here, sinking into the earth with the support of the head, the hand, the leg. And maybe if we feel pretty stable, pretty sassy today, we can maybe try to lengthen that opposite leg and find that little balance challenge. And no problem if it's not here today, just an option to see what's right up the alley here. Gently coming back. And then taking your hands back underneath the shoulder. Inhaling, lengthening the right leg behind, tucking the toes, and then getting a nice little stretch here. Can reach the heel back and forth or stretch your calf. And pausing at the center, so hands are underneath the shoulder or in a fist. And as we exhale, let's float our right leg just a touch. So the back stay nice and long as if we had a glass of water. And then lowering back down, taptoeing. Exhaling to the float, feeling the yin maybe through the glutes, the hamstring supporting the back. Inhaling, tapping, noticing the sensation of the foot meeting the ground. And perhaps traveling in the air, maybe the air feels warm or cold where you are. Maybe taking a moment to balance on a three-legged table. Take a nice inhale. And as we exhale, gently dropping that right knee forward, planting the right foot in between the thumb. And coming to a little bit of a lunge here. So we're going to move a little bit forward here to stretch that back hip and back. Shoulder are over the hip, chest open, eyes forward. Just taking a moment to notice how it feels like now to have changed position in space, right? Noticing how the floor is supporting us, noticing how the spine is getting a new length. And then here, maybe planting the left hand next to the right foot or in a fist, or if you have a yoga block, you may want to use that right here. And I'm just inviting a little bit of a twist. You can take your hand over your thigh and just doing a little twist here, looking back. And forward, inhaling. So looking back. Maybe staying here, maybe sweeping the arm out. Few breaths. Taking a nice inhale, exhale, gently unwinding the spine, returning to center. Right foot come back, right knee underneath the right hip. And then let's try the other side. So face the other way. Left leg lengthen, tucking the toes, pressing into stretching the calf. And out. Maybe doing that a few times or holding. And just maybe noticing the whole energy of the crown of the head reaching forward, the back of the head, the neck being long, the spine, the thighs. Noticing the energy of the arm pushing up the ground, so we're not sinking like that, but we're nice and active here. And gently inhaling, hands in line with the shoulder, exhaling, floating that right leg up. Feeling a little bit engagement as we exhale of the abs pulling in, the glutes engaging to protect the back again. And noticing how high can we go without maybe really arching our back, maintaining that energy here through a long table back. Another breath, and on an exhale, floating the left knee forward in between the thumb and finding a little bit of that high lunge here. Bringing the hand on the thigh and then doing a little bit of a stretch for that opposite hip. So maybe noticing here also some changes in the energy level from when we began the class, or maybe you're noticing your breath has changed, your heart is beating a little faster, your body is waking up a little more, or not, just tuning into, oh yeah, that's what's here for me right now. And then gently maybe twisting a little bit over that side, coming back, pressing in, and again inhaling and maybe reaching across, maybe sweeping that arm. A few breaths here. Noticing how the torso is getting that twist, that opening to the outer thighs, the hip. How the shoulder can open up maybe instead of being like that, like opening back. And gently unwinding, coming back to center, taking our feet behind us, and then lying on our stomach for a short moment to do a little bit of extension. So maybe if right now you are pregnant or you cannot lie down on your stomach, please stay on all fours and just simply do an extension. So hands are underneath the shoulder, nice and wide. Legs can be a little bit apart. That's going to create a little more opening to the back. If we're tighter, you may notice it's a little more constricted here, so you can play with that too. Push gently into the top of the feet from up your legs. Take a nice inhale and then slow lifting from the heart center, the head, the chest. And then seeing here if we can open the shoulder a little back. So maybe we're like this, Maybe opening the elbows, your hands wider. Inhaling, exhaling, dropping gently the head down, looking toward the right side of the room. And then pushing into the hand, firming up the torso, the glutes lifting up. Maybe noticing how the back is bending, noticing the shape of the body here. And then exhaling, gently twisting the head to the other side. Come back to center. So if you're on your hand and knee, keep your hands underneath your shoulder. But if you're on the floor, I invite you to try with your hands at your low back. Then gently as you push into your hands, see if you can inhale, float your arm behind you and then float from your heart center, your head and chest. So try to not bend the head back and create constriction, but more point the nose down toward the floor. Few breaths here. Noticing the amount of effort the body is requiring here to back bend, allowing the breath to be fluid. And then slow, letting the hand unclasp, find the floor. And then pushing away, feet together, knees wide. Finding a little bit of a child pose here. 3 breaths. And letting the belly be a belly, feeling the inflation on the in-breath, deflation on the out-breath. And then slow, walking your hands underneath our shoulder, inhaling, exhaling, pressing up, back. Finding a seat again. Then going into a couple of movement for your shoulders. So you may want to prep your hips if you need to sit in a different way than me, that's fine. And then inhaling, sweeping the arm up and overhead, letting one elbow fold over the head. And taking a nice little inhale, exhale, little side bend to the right. Inhaling, sweeping the arms. Exhaling, bringing them back up. Yes, good. And side bending to the other side. Beautiful. Taking a moment here to keep the shoulder over the hips. I think there was a pane of glass before us and behind us, feeling some stacking. Coming back to the center, maybe taking one hand at a time behind our head. And then slow, folding the elbows in and out. Inhaling, gently hugging the elbows toward the cheek. And exhaling, maybe smiling as we reopen. And we can even take a little bit the torso with us. So exhaling, gently rounding the spine, pulling in. And inhaling, reopening the elbows, the head, the chest, maybe opening back. One more, nice and easy. Exhaling, rounding. Seeing the stretch, we're getting to the back of the head, the neck here. And inhaling, reopening, maybe noticing the opening we're getting in the front of the body. Coming back to center, taking one arm up, and then slowly folding that elbow, grabbing a hold of that elbow, stretching a little bit here, the upper arms. Few breaths. And then opening the arms, and then switching. So here, big cognition if the head starts to tilt forward, or maybe gently pushing the head back. So it's connecting to the arm, and we really have ear over shoulder, optimizing the length through the neck. And then now taking the left arm across in front of us, allowing the shoulder if it's hiking up to pull back, softening maybe the elbow, and taking our forearm. And I'm inviting a little twist here, 2 or 3 breaths. In that shoulder opening back, the breath being fluid. Maybe noticing other sensations that are arising through the body from this. And then inhaling, exhaling, other side. And maybe if the mind is elsewhere or is being distracted, not a problem. Just maybe noticing the mind commenting on the experience, on something else. Just simply coming back, feeling that stretch happening through the shoulder, the upper back, maybe noticing the breath in the belly. And gently coming back. We'll do one more stretch for our shoulders. So you can take your hands together here, and then your elbows in line with your shoulder, they may or may not touch. So everyone is very different here. Again, really no judgment. just exploring what the body is doing right now, is able to do. And so here, taking a nice inhale and slow opening the arm back and then stretching. Exhaling, hugging, feeling an hollowing maybe here through the core, to the midline. And inhaling, opening and stretching the shoulder wide. Again, being careful with the range of motion if you've had shoulder issue recently. And then one more, breathing in and out. And then slow stretching the heel of the hand away and back. Good. And then letting the hands clasp behind you, so just like that. And then maybe taking a little stretch. So if you have long arm or you're really close to the floor, you may want to get standing. If you're in with a chair, be careful because maybe you have the back of the chair, but maybe opening the arm a little bit back, stretching. And releasing. A couple more. Inhaling, finding a hugging through the shoulder blade, a nice wide collarbone here, a long spine. Feeling the anchoring of the seat bone. And then gently coming back. Okay, finish with a few shoulder holds. So breathing in, maybe bring the shoulder forward and rounded, and then arching them up to the ears and exhaling, drawing them back 2 or 3 more times. Inhaling forward, up and back and down. So many little complex movements to the shoulder. Maybe you're noticing some little creaking, some movements to the muscle, that's fine. And then pulling the shoulder back, up, forward and down, couple more. Releasing any tension, softening if it's possible, and if not, being kind, no need to fight that. Just allow it. And then just finish with your shoulder by your side. Okay, so if you were in another position and you need to take a few moments, we're continuing on with a few moments of sitting meditation now, but you are welcome to instead lie down or sit in another way. And just taking a moment now to drop in again and again in this body, in this moment. Seeing the residuals of the sensation in the body from those gentle stretches and movements that we have been sharing together. Maybe lowering your gaze or closing your eyes if it's more supportive. Allowing the spine to be elongated, yet not rigid. Allowing the body to receive full support of the floor, and also offering your body to the floor, maybe to Mother Earth, feeling a sense of weight, of gravity, of letting go. Maybe tuning in right now to the sensation that are arriving throughout the body from the movement. It could be some sense of spaciousness, a sense of calm or ease, a sense of lengthening, but not necessarily. Maybe you are still feeling tight or sore from other things. So allowing this to also be part of the experience, to be there. You may also be noticing some more subtle sensations. So some may be light tingling in areas of the body or pulsations. Maybe the subtle movements of the breath. Maybe some agitation in the mind, and if that's the case, for noticing the wave of the mind, some distraction, that is not a problem. Just gently bring the attention back to an anchor point that is easy for you. So it could be just anchoring into the body, maybe sending the attention into the hands, the feet, or the sitting bone, a fairly neutral point. And if not, you can always anchor the attention in the breath or into sound. So finding one anchor point, it doesn't really matter which one. in which you can bring full awareness to following moment by moment experience with kindness, with curiosity, with care. So I'll be quiet now for a few moments. Simply just being here, allowing the body to be at home. Noticing the breath is not a small thing. Noticing the body is not a small thing. So what's here for me right now? What's true to my experience? As we are sitting here, just for the last few moments we have together for this practice, before we move on to another practice, I would like to share just a few sentences that Martha Eliot wrote in a poem. Help yourself. Help yourself. And let the learning emerge and take shape. And let the learning emerge and take shape. You can appreciate the wisdom of the body. You can appreciate the wisdom of the body. Each cell alive with spirit, emotion, and intelligence. Each cell alive with spirit, emotion, and intelligence, ready to help you at any moment. always with you and for you. Each cell alive with spirit, emotion, and intelligence, ready to help you at any moment, always with you and for you. Maybe as we are receiving these words, we can take a few moments to thank ourselves for showing up this morning to this practice, to this day of retreat, to thank our body for all the amazing work it's doing for us every day. May this in breath nourish our body. May the out breath continue to cleanse our body. Thank you so much for practicing together this morning.
For more, please hit the subscribe button and visit integrativemindfulnessmovement.com.